Refin It Up is extremely happy to announce our new partnership with PSL City Tickets. You could follow them on all social media platforms at PSL City Tickets. And stay tuned as we will have tickets to give away for sporting events, including tailgating. Visit pslcity.net to get the best tickets in your city today.
Now, it's the hottest podcast in the world. From WWE to TNA by way of the NWA. It's referee Brian Hebner, legendary WWE referee and Mr. Refin Rant himself, Jimmy Corderas, and OVW and TNA senior official Daniel Spencer. It's time for Refin' It Up.
Welcome back to Refin' It Up. I'm RJ, Jimmy, Brian, Daniel. How we doing, guys?
Great.
Straightforward, right to the point.
Wow.
Hey.
It's hot today. I know that here in
No,
Well, that's it,
man.
folks. We'll see you next week. We'll talk to you soon.
That was
No,
hilarious.
There's a lot to talk about, so I want to get right to it, man.
Let's go.
I got
Oh,
research
sweet
done. And...
In that case, let's take it to our first count.
Oh, shit. Right here on Refin' It Up.
This is your one count.
Well, after that intro, why don't we send it up right to Jimmy? Jimmy, man, we had a monumental
if he has more to
announcement.
say, I don't know if he has more to
Yeah,
say.
well, he's got to have more to say. That's why I'm going to him. We had a monumental announcement last week in regards to an upcoming Wrestle Mania show that was announced for WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Keep in mind also, Jimmy, that Saudi Arabia is going to be hosting the Royal Rumble this January, 2026. Lot of scuttlebutt, if you will, Jimmy.
Excuse me.
Yeah, a lot of negative feedback. I'll say the least. You know, the interweb has lost their marbles over this, and my question is, did anybody not see this coming? Eventually down the line?
No, I mean,
Well, I'm pretty sure Brian called it.
I actually thought when they pulled from New Orleans and was going back to Vegas, it wasn't going to be Vegas. It was going to be Saudi.
In 26, you mean?
Yeah, they just put,
Yes.
yeah, the one.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
That was my first thought too,
Yeah.
Daniel. That was my first thought.
So
too,
I,
but then
so I,
went
this
back
was
to-
coming. It's just a matter of when, and so now we know when.
I did call it though. I did. Like y'all, I've read the writing between the lines. Anyway, I'll go ahead, Jimmy, before I jump in.
No. I see, and I get the anger. Everybody is turning this into a political debate as opposed to a business debate. You know, how many times have we said here that this is the wrestling business? So in that sense, I understand why they are making this deal. That makes perfect sense for them, especially when you're a publicly traded company who has to, answer to stockholders and the board and all that sort of stuff about making money, yada yada yada. Yes, we get that part, but I also get the part about people being upset because of the location, and I think people are more upset about it being taken away from North America and to a location that would make it much harder to be a destination place for wrestling fans in North America. I mean, like it feels like fans from the UK and elsewhere will come to North America, but North American fans will not go to the Middle East, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for this. And it also takes away a lot of opportunities from other companies because WrestleMania weekend becomes a destination place for a lot of other indie promotions that they go and
Yeah, it does.
they
Yep.
piggyback off
Yep.
the WWE and the WrestleCon and that sort
But
of thing.
but here's the thing you can do. You can something like that. I have a friend who runs a promotion that usually the week before, the week after WrestleMania, he does a big Comic Con. It's one of the best ones it does here. And I immediately texted him and said, "Hey, it's time to make." And I'll shout out there. We've had Squared Circle Expo. It's time to make Squared Circle Expo bigger than ever before in 2027, because
Hmm.
now the opportunity is for you to get ahead of it. And since all those people won't be traveling over there, now you can have all those people here and have a big show and big shindig around it. And he's
Hmm.
like, I'm already looking into it. I was like, see, so I think it open. Yes, it closes the doors for like a WrestleCon that we know of. Who knows? They could still have
Right.
it. But here's the other thing. I'm going to say this. Who cares? Like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that in a like a. It is a big deal. Don't get me wrong. But what I mean is, wrestling is. I'm going to take this from Freddie Prinze Jr. Wrestling is show business, right? And what's the biggest word of those two words? Business. That's the
Hmm.
biggest word of those two words. Show business. So it's all about business. If they're going to make $100 million doing this WrestleMania there, where they may make 50 million or 75 million in Vegas again or wherever it may be, but you're guaranteed 100 million from, let alone not even the ticket cost, it's okay. And the crazies are going to travel anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like the
Hmm.
ones that are going to pay all the money anyways, they're going to travel because now that gives them a reason to say they probably never would have went to Saudi Arabia. Now they have a reason to go to try it out and see some go a country you never did before. Granted, will me and my family, let's just say we were, if I was looking into going to WrestleMania, would that hinder me from going that year? Probably, but
Hmm.
it's just 1 year. It's I mean, it,
Maybe.
it, well, I'm saying yeah, there could be more, but okay, so what? Like, I'm looking at this way too. We know WrestleMania is going to start at probably 11 a.m. or 10 or noon that day, and you know what that means? That means we get to watch it, and then we have to have our night.
Hmm.
So here in the states, so honestly, it's probably going to be a cool thing, and maybe you can have parties around it, and I think it opens up a lot more doors, and it maybe
Yeah.
as I mentioned, this expos can do something. Maybe it allows some North American promotions to do a WrestleMania party theme thing with other stars to sign, and then you have a show that night and have wrestling all day long. I don't know. I'm not as crazy. At first, I was like, man, this is wild. I don't like this. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, it may be
Hmm.
okay.
Right.
All right. Well, here comes negative Eunice. Um, Eunice, I got that because that's what Ken just texted me. Yes, I said Ken, so you guys understand. Ken just texted me and said, "Thank you again, Eunice." So negative Eunice is going to say this. I'm not saying I don't disagree with you at all, Daniel, but I am saying this. I'm going to piggyback off Justin LeBar and Jonathan Hood. I get it, but I don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it. I think that WWE recently is showing they don't care about the fans; they care about money. And yes, it is a business, but sometimes who pays for the business? Who generates the revenue? It's the fans. It's kind of like when you're a diehard wrestling fan here in the United States. July 4th is for the United States. You eat hot dogs, you eat hamburgers. So what if we just said we're going to celebrate it in another country because we can make more money doing it that way? I mean, you see what I'm saying? I get it, but I don't like it.
But
That's
but
all.
but but my question is, what if they went to the UK? Because I'm sure that's going to be next.
Well,
Yeah.
because they don't care about the fan. You're right. It is. It's going to go anywhere that they get
But
paid.
that see, I don't, Brian. I'm going to disagree with you there too. It's not about them not caring about the fans. Everybody says, well, they don't care about the fans and they only care about the bottom line and the dollar. That's every business on the planet. Then they
Mm,
no, I'm serious, Brian. They give people the perception that yes, we care about you because you're the one spending the dollar.
and
That's how why they care
it,
about the
it,
fan.
and
They
here's
care
the thing
about
that
their what's in their wallet.
here's the
Not
thing I say: if you end up caring about the fans, you end up starting with something that's hot, and then 5 6 years later it ends up becoming a stale product, and
Mhm.
therefore you're catering to the fans instead of catering to business, smart business, where you can grow. Take that for what you want to believe there.
Yeah.
But
No,
Yeah.
that
no.
But I mean
Here's-
I'm with Jimmy on this a little bit. I do disagree with you, Brian. I think that, unfortunately, it is a business. I don't think they're, because here's what's going to happen. The fans ain't going to have this WrestleMania for this week, but the build up to WrestleMania, you're going to be all in North America. The aftermath of WrestleMania is going to be probably in North America. Maybe it'll be some in overseas in the UK or whatever. But it's going to show you that, hey, we're a worldwide company.
a global.
Therefore, when we're in town, you take advantage, because we may not be back in town for another year, 2 years. Take advantage, and I think it's going to just drive revenue up higher in the United States and in other countries, because they don't know when to see somebody.
But my question is this. My question is this, because a lot of people there's a lot of backlash over this. Is it because it's being taken out of North America elsewhere, which is going to make it difficult for people to travel to, or are they making it now a political argument? Because if it is a political argument, okay. You're gonna make politics in this. I've heard people all over the place on Busted Open everywhere going, if they do this in Saudi Arabia, I'm boycotting. Okay, so if you're going to do that, then you need to boycott McDonald's, Starbucks, KFC, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Nike. If you've got an iPhone, throw it in the trash, because guess what? They have them over there too. They sell them over there too. Coca-Cola, and they're so oppressive. They have Victoria's Secret stores there. Wait a minute. Whoa.
No, I get that, but they're
No,
they're
but
not
it- but
events.
people-
They're not events. This is y'all don't think that WrestleMania is American tradition?
No,
You don't.
It-
You don't.
it's happened in Canada twice.
That's North America,
Yeah,
it's not
but
American.
It's not America.
right?
Not
But-
America.
well, not yet. But
Hey. Don't say that. Don't say that now.
But what I'm saying, guys, Jimmy, I'm not saying I disagree with y'all. I understand. I have I have some sympathy to the fan that get excited about this. Then they curtain jerk the New Orleans on people. I mean, like, what's your defense for that one? Was that for the fans, or was that for their pockets?
That was also for money.
That was also
right.
for money.
So what I'm saying is, you can't find the biggest fucking arena in the United States and make a fuck ton of cash and do it. I get what y'all are saying.
I don't think it's that though. I think because there is a big arena. I think it's all about, they can go to Dallas again and have, they can do Dallas Stadium, 100,000 people 2 nights in a row or whatever it was the last time they were there. But the problem is that they still could only generate so much revenue even by doing that, where you're almost guaranteed a certain revenue without ticket sales just in Saudi alone, and that's what they're looking at. They're trying to look. Bottom line is they're milking everything they can now, because maybe 5 years they won't have this opportunity. So take advantage of it now. 5 years from now they may not be able to do Saudi because they may, whatever the reason is. So, or maybe they will. Maybe it'll be like you said, Brian. Maybe this is the first one, and there'll be 10 more in Saudi one day. But I think we got to look. I mean, it's not the first event to go over there. I mean, there's been other boxing, MMA events to be over in India, be in other places too as
the
well.
World Cup of Soccer, which is the biggest sporting event in the world.
Yeah, that goes
Has
everywhere.
gone there, and they're going again.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying is, if WB wants to be the global company and to show that they go everywhere, then they're going to have to make their big events everywhere. I have a feeling Australia is going to be at it one day. They're going to start making these events, and not just the special events. They're going to start not Clash in Paris and whatever. They're going to start making your top 4, your Royal Rumbles, your WrestleManias, your Survivor Series, and your SummerSlams in other countries, because they got to show that we care about we're a global company. We're not just a North American company, even though their headquarters is in Connecticut.
They want everybody to be inclusive. The entire world is inclusive.
I just wish they would have brought anything and everything over there and just not Mania. Left it here, but it is what it is.
That's fine. That's fine. You can have that you can have that opinion. We can disagree.
Well, guys,
And I don't think they wouldn't. I'm sorry. I don't think that they would not draw any more for Royal Rumble than a Mania. I think they'll draw the same thing. The excitement's over there, but I understand what y'all are saying.
Right.
Guys, why don't we do this? We got a little hot under the collar. Why don't we take a brief break, get a breather in, come back in our Refin review right here on Refin It Up.
Talk about hot.
This is Refin Review.
Welcome back to our Refin Review right here on Refin It Up. Jimmy, man, AEW keeps on giving us material for the show, which I appreciate because all I got to do is simply just put it in the old computer here. So last week, Rick Knox had a match with Hangman Page and Josh Alexander. Usually he's not on this list, but he's on it this week, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's again, it's the little things that matter. We talk about positioning in the ring during a match, especially for television. Now, during the match, they ran a spot where Hangman Page was on the apron, hanging onto the top rope, looking like he was getting ready to do the slingshot lariat on Josh. Josh dropped to the ground and bailed out of the ring, left Hangman there to react. So the camera, one of the floor cameras, took a shot of Hangman to get a shot of his face, but they couldn't because Rick Knox walked right in front of him and blocked his face to give a signal to talk to him and tell him whatever the hell Gorilla was telling him to do. You got to be cognizant of those things when you're a referee. You can't walk in front of talent and block their face because you don't know when the camera is on him, because chances are the camera will be on them, especially in a spot like that where they're separated and they need to shoot something other than an empty ring.
Yep, I get it.
It's just, people say, well, that's being too nitpicky. No, it's not. You're blocking the star, the AEW champion, your world champion. You're blocking his face, and the fans can't see him, the fans on television. And that being said, the fans in the arena, all 916 of them, couldn't see him either.
So angles are the key in that. You angle yourself purposely. You can still be in front of him. You can still be in direct shot. You just do it in an angle that allows you to be out of the camera shot in the spot to be able to give him the cue or whatever is needed. It is for anything. Angles for the counts, angles for the submission, any of those things. Angles are key. Where you're there, you're at the shoulders, or you're at the spot, you're at the wherever you need to be, but you're in an angle where the camera's open, the camera open view. It's getting the shot of what you need, and you're out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. Yet you're there and doing exactly what you need to do. Yeah, angles is the key, and I'm not talking about Kurt, although he's one of the best.
I've got something even better, boys.
Yeah.
How about paying attention to your match, how it's laid out, and saying, we're going to do this spot and we're going to ISO on Hangman Page's face? That tells you as a referee, get the fuck out of the way. There's nothing you need to tell him right there. Let him get their ISO in and then move in and do what you got to do. That's what that is. I mean, that's simply what it is. I can't tell you how many times, just like you guys have been told, we're going to do this and we're going to shoot this way and do this. And you're out there where it's being produced. Well, then if you know that's the spot, which I'm begging and guaranteeing, I'm begging that he did, but I'm guaranteeing he didn't, is that he didn't know it. That's why he got right in the way. And it's no knock on him, what it is. Oh, no pun intended, Rick Knox. No knock on you. But get the match, brother. Get the match. Get the whole match. You would have known that was the spot where they were going to ISO on him. If you do that, we're not talking about this week.
And again, he's correct, but also sometimes in matches like you do get a cue from the back saying, "Tell Rick this now," or I'm sorry, tell Hangman this now. And you're like, okay. So when that happens, no matter what it is, no matter even if you just angle yourself directly. You always be cognizant of the cameras, just like Jimmy said, no matter what. And then that would never happen. Whether you camera blocked it ahead of time or not, you still know not to be in front of the camera.
And that's a rotten agent that would do that anyway, because he's the one that put the fucking thing together. But anyway.
So the other piece of content, I guess we could say, for the Refin Review this week, Brian, is something that we were made aware of, that we were sent in regards to a no DQ match between Jake Lawless and Dustin Jackson at OVW last week. And some of you may know was the referee for that match. We won't say who. We'll just say it wasn't Earl. But in the match, said referee check the shoulders before counting, and the fans at ringside and in the arena thought that was the first count. We saw the video. What did you take away from that?
It was a job doing his job correctly. There was confusion, confused the announcers. Don't know why. Basically, yes, guys, girls out there listening, we're going to put Daniel Spencer over. Yep, we're going to put him over. And if he puts that fucking doll up, I'm done putting him over. So basically, he goes down, and he was supposed to count one, but guess what? The shoulders weren't down. So he waited for them to be completely down because he's looking at the head like he's supposed to, and checks the shoulders to indicate to everyone, including the announcers who should have picked it up, that he was checking, and then proceeded to count 1, 2, 3, where it confused the fans, which I can understand that not the announcers. And at home, you would have not been confused either. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Long story short, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. The shoulders weren't ready to be counted. He made sure they were, checked it, motion for that, which is him showing body language. That's how I'm not counting. He's not there yet. Now he is. 1, 2, 3. They took that as 1 was him checking, and that was not the case. And I have to take up for our ruthless leader, Mr. Daniel Spencer.
Begrudgingly, Brian? Begrudgingly?
I know.
No, I'm glad he did a good job because he learned from
But
Earl,
you hit the nail on the head. The thing that confused some people was the sliding of the hand, which shouldn't have confused people because sliding your hand is not a count.
correct.
I understand that they got confused, but I don't understand why they got confused because when you count, what does your arm do? Your arm goes up high and comes down and smacks the mat. It doesn't, you don't place it on the mat and slide it.
Daniel,
Unless
you
you're-
don't. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Daniel,
No.
you don't count as you count, correct? That's
No.
what I told you not to do.
I
All
don't
right,
do
so
that.
correct. Go ahead, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
No, that's it. I mean, like it was clearly distinct.
It was to me too.
But
I don't
you-
understand the confusion by the
That's
announcers.
why I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get it.
So, I mean, obviously I was in the ring and I was in the moment and I was like, what is going on? So I clearly that it took a move. And this is something that, first off, this is in from review. I think it's not just, sometimes these things are not just for the refs, it's for talent too. Guys, when you take a big move and you're supposed to cover, quit trying to get your shoulders down. Just lay there. Stop trying to move around or whatever, like getting in a position. Just lay there. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to young talent. And it's always young talent because the older talent, the experience know that and they know to lay there. But some of the young talent still learning, and a lot of times you run into this at OVW, but learning, you lay flat. Just lay flat. It's okay. You can sell after the kick out. That's when you sell at the moment. If you know when you've gone over the match and you know you're about to get a cover here, sell, kick out, or I'm sorry, lay flat, kick out, then sell. That's how you do it. Unless there's a moment where obviously there's another reason you can sell before and be rode over into a pin. That's a different story. But when you land on your back, just be ready for the pin. But so that happened. His shoulder was up. I'm yelling, shoulder up, and I'm putting putting my hand down, and I heard 1, but I've heard this before where they didn't count 1 again, right? So I didn't think anything of it. But as I'm counting 1 and they go 2, and I'm like 2, and they go, they go 3, and then what was crazy was even then the guy pinning thought. Dustin Jackson was pinning Jake Lawless. He thought Jake didn't kick out. And he was like, "Oh my gosh!" So he reacted naturally, which I thought was brilliant. And then the production messed up because production played the music, and we're like, "What is that? What is this going on?" Like it was a complete confusion. But obviously, it made them. I think hearing later on, with hindsight 2020, we talked about it. It made the moment special because it wasn't supposed to happen, and it threw everything off, and it threw him off, and it caused him to let it, basically. To not pay attention to his opponent. His opponent got the best of him, boom, hit it, then finish 1, 2, 3. A little bit later, you guys didn't see that, but it kind of like told that story, like, hey, he screwed up and he whatever. But it's just one of those things where you've got to pay attention to all those little details like that. I could have went down and started counting. The camera's angle did not see the shoulder was up, but I don't know that. I don't know if they're not shooting the camera behind me. That's a clear shot of the shoulders. I don't know they're not shooting a hard cam. That's a clear shot of the shoulders. They're shooting the other camera on the other end that you can't see the shoulder. You can just see me checking. So again, it's one of those things where you never know. As we talked about camera, always be assumed the cameras are wherever. So I always assume the camera is picking this up, even though it was not. But if I didn't do my job, and let's say he actually didn't kick out, and the finish was that became the finish, then now we're in a if I pulled it when he didn't kick out, then that's a whole nother story, right? So, treat everything as a shoot, and you'll be rewarded and in the long run, and you can always fix it in writing and wrestling. You can always fix mistakes like that. You can't fix mistakes that are clear, obvious, where you pull a count or the shoulders way up and you're still counting, things like that. But little mistakes like that, you can always fix it, and that's what I'm sure they're going to do this week at OVW Television. So,
yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
guys,
we put Daniel over minutes too long.
Dan,
Okay.
we won't do that again.
Real quick, because Daniel brought up something about covering. Keep your shoulders down, but also guys who are making the cover, don't be sloppy.
Yeah,
that's true.
And pull them so hard to where their shoulders have to come up. You know what I mean? Like they're like, ah. But anyway, but Daniel, good job.
Or they
good job.
don't cover the shoulders at all. Or
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Thanks, Brian. I learned from the best.
I know you did, brother.
Remind me to give.
And if you say,
He's got it in the back. I was waiting for it to pop up. It was like Jaws.
It's just you can't. See, that's why I have a hard time, RJ, giving him props because he can't ever give me any. But it's okay.
Shout out to Brian Hebner for teaching me many things, including to pay attention to the shoulders
and to pay attention to Earl.
He didn't mean that.
No. See, now it's just forced. Now it's just forced.
I know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be forced to say you love me.